Hello, and welcome to another exciting episode of Angels, Fairies, and Witches. I'm Michelle, and I thank you for letting us come into your house.
And I'm Laura, and we ask only that you keep an open mind for the information that we're about to share with you.
Well, for our last episode, which was also our first episode, we were kind of all over the place. This time, though, we're going to do a brief recap, and then we're going to narrow it down to some specific topics. So the last time we started off talking about the primary clairs, clairvoyant, anything in your visual sight, clairaudient, anything that you can hear,
Clairsentient, anything that you can feel, and claircognizant, anything that you have a knowing about, a clear knowing about.
We brought up the chakras, and I think it's important. We brought up two things that people might not be familiar with, auras and chakras. So let's briefly recount auras, and then we'll get into the 7 chakras.
Okay, your aura, or auras, because not only do you and I have an aura, but everything has an aura or an energy field around it.
Everything is energy. Everything.
It just moves a little slower, a little faster, depending on what the object is or the physical thing is. The aura is a field that protects you from greed and hatred and anger, and so you have to keep your aura as strong and as cleansed as possible so that you don't become ill or depressed or negative, which is an easy thing to do.
And so we taught you in the last episode a couple of tricks for keeping your aura clear and healthy and strong. And one was the morning shower or the evening shower. Take a few minutes and make it into a ritual. Feel the water pouring down, cleansing your aura down the drain. Also, with a healing bath, a handful of Dead Sea salt or table salt if you don't have it. Throw it in some warm water. Cover up to here. Put all your worries, your anger,
your disappointment,
frustration. And when you feel the time is right, pop the drain, let all the negativity go down. So we're going to talk now.
We talked about ritual and the bathing as a ritual. And it's important that you try to look at everything in a bit of a ritual manner. If your morning cup of coffee or your morning cup of tea.
Oh, that's a good one.
Right.
That's a good one.
It's so important that you don't just pour the coffee and mix in the sugar or the milk and just throw it down. Think about how, if you want to add that sugar or want to add that milk, what it's going to do for your body and how it's going to help your day progress, and just really put that positive energy into it as you're stirring and mixing, and it makes a whole difference.
Absolutely.
In how your outlook becomes.
As a witch, I would call it, what I do every morning with my cup of coffee, I incant over it. I'm whispering words that I'm asking for it to provide me with energy and well, okay, mostly energy. Other faiths, a lot of faiths, will pray over their food and their liquid. It's really the same thing, it's just different words. As a matter, touch the microphone, sorry. We're still getting our feet wet here. As a matter of fact, on not the next episode, or maybe the next episode, I'm going to show you a marvelous trick that you can trick. Oh, did I just call it a trick?
Yes, you did.
I did. Sorry. It's a spell. It's a spell. It's called angel sugar, and I'm going to show you how you can make it, preferably on the night of a full moon, just because that's when the energy is at its highest. And it's absolutely delicious, and you can add to it, and it's a fun thing. You can even get your kids to do. And then you can also add that to your morning cereal. Speaking of morning cereal, I know, I was told not to jump all over the place, but for what it's worth, today is Friday the 13th. I don't know, obviously that's not when it's going to be airing. So point of interest about that is that some people think it's an unlucky day. Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, if you're of a Wiccan or pagan or Druid faith, it's actually considered very lucky. The only ones it was unlucky for were the Knights Templar. And just very, very brief history about this. They were created as an elite order of knights by the Catholic Church that were supposed to guard the secrets, the money, whatever. And unfortunately, as tends to happen, they got a little greedy and too big for their britches, and they started telling the Catholic Church, well, you need to give us more land, more money, otherwise we're going to spill some secrets. So King Philip, the lots of X's and V's after his name, in France, see why I couldn't be a history teacher, told all the knights, okay, you know what, let's make nice. Come on over for a feast. We're all gonna get along. And so the knights came over to France, and they had a huge feast, and of course lots and lots of wine was consumed, not unlike in my house every Friday night. And so early in the morning of Friday the 13th, October, I think it was 1307, the majority of the knights were slaughtered. It was a setup. So anyway, that's enough with the history lesson. I just want to say that the only people that found Friday the 13th unlucky probably were the Templar Knights. But what I wanted to say is, today is also a Roman festival. They celebrate the goddess Ceres,
E-R-E-S.
C-E-R-E-S. And her festival is known as Ceriella. And she's the goddess of grain, and that's actually where we get cereal from. So the thought for that is to remember simpler times. Remember when grain, you couldn't just go to the store, buy a box of cereal or a loaf of bread. Grain had to be planted and harvested and
baked and stirred and cooked into what you want it to be.
And that's, see, I'm getting back on the topic now. I really am, I promise. Simple things. If you're going to have a bowl of cereal every morning, think about this Roman goddess Ceres and the goddess of grain and ancestors and family, and give thanks that you have it so easy. You can just grab a box of Cheerios off the shelf.
That's right. That's right.
Make everything ritual. What other examples? Or should we just get into the chakras?
Yeah, let's move into the chakras now.
We're going to move into the chakras
Well, dressing can be a ritual. You know?
Dressing like on salads?
No, as in getting ready for your day.
Oh,
you know?
dressing.
Right.
Outfitting.
Outfitting.
In my case, costuming.
Costuming. Yeah.
Explain that one.
Well, here, obviously, fairy dust. Fairy dust is definitely a part of our ritual every day.
Absolutely. And when we get into conversation about fairies, because these are all very real beings. Unfortunately, they've been made to be the stuff of fairy tales. But fairies are wonderful in terms of nature and the elements. And I will be showing you all how to make your own fairy dust.
But I know, thanks to Michelle, that my day really can't even begin without applying that layer of fairy dust before I step out my house, because that last step I take before I walk out, I know that it reminds me that I can't take life that seriously, and I have to have joy during my day, and the joys and the smiles that it brings to people when you step onto an elevator.
Oh, it definitely invites attention.
Right.
Definitely.
We've
been told we look like something out of a storybook. It invites conversation.
Right.
And the message really of the fairies, and we've got lots more to say about that, exactly what she just said. Don't take life so seriously. Smile more, frown less, put more light into the world. As a Catholic might wear a crucifix, or a Jewish person might wear like a yarmulke.
Or Star of David.
Right. This is our, now what would you call it? Not our thing.
Our talisman or our amulet, maybe.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So we put this on every day, and it definitely helps to bring about conversation about the fairies.
Yep.
So,
and reminds me when I get hollered at by someone that then it's going to be okay, because I have joy in my heart.
Yes. Yes. All right, how about we talk a little bit about the 7 chakras. Chakra means energy point. So you have 7 on your body. I am not going to turn around and have my big behind face the camera, but if you go to the tail end of your spine, basically your butt, that's the first one. That's the root chakra. That's responsible for just basic stuff. Food, shelter. Over here in this area is your sacral chakra. That's responsible for sexuality, also creativity. Moving on up here, you have the solar plexus. That's your seat of power. That's your self-worth.
Your energy.
And as a matter of fact, if anyone's ever said something so unkind to you, I bet you felt it right here.
Right there in your solar plexus.
Yep. Moving on up, we have the heart chakra. Obviously, this is emotions. The throat chakra, communication.
Communication.
Some people, all right, well, no, I was getting ahead of myself, sorry. This is your third eye, right there, okay? That's that chakra. And then it's your crown chakra. Okay.
Energy comes into your body through the crown chakra. When I do my Reiki, that's where I draw the energy in to my body, is through my crown chakra, and I bring it down into my heart chakra, and I fill it full of love and healing energy, and then it comes out the meridians of my arms and out my palm chakras to my client. The beauty of energy is I don't even have to be in the same room with you, and I can transmit.
She doesn't even have to be in the same state as you.
That's right, and I can send that energy that I've gathered from all around me, the powers of the universe, I can draw into me and pass that energy on, and you can do the same as well.
Absolutely. Everything that we're telling you that we do, the purpose of this is to show you that you can do it, you can learn it, you can apply it, and all really very simply. It's the same idea when I do tarot card readings. People like to come to the house because they like the experience, which is fine, but I can easily do it over the phone, and I can do it when somebody's in another state, and she can send healing energy to somebody in another state, because energy is all around.
Yeah.
We never tried international, though.
No.
But I bet we could do that.
And don't misunderstand me. I can't heal, but what I can do is I can boost your body's natural healing energy itself. I am not actually a healer, but I can send you that extra energy that boosts your body's ability to heal yourself in a quicker manner.
But we can also, we have a lot of information how you can heal yourself. And by the way, that was a good segue, because there's another book we like. Last time we spoke, we recommended a lot of Dr. Doreen Virtue's books. And by the way, you can find all of these books in, unfortunately, a teeny tiny section of every Barnes & Noble called New Age. But anyway, this book is called You Can Heal Your Life?
Yep.
All right, and it's by Louise Hay, who started Hay House. And they were the format for Dr. Wayne Dyer and Brian Weiss and Sonia Choquette. And this book is so valuable because it shows you that every ailment you have, and I mean it's from cancer to being overweight to, I don't know if you want to zoom in on this, but a bunion. No, I was kidding. Don't zoom in on that. Everything.
It's basically your thought processes.
Right.
And so the whole idea is to change your thought process towards that dis-ease or that dysfunction that's happening.
Dis-ease, not disease.
Right.
Let's give a couple of prime examples. I know, for one, people that, now I'm not talking about, you know, you go to Taco Bell and you have a burrito and it doesn't sit well with you. Sorry, Taco Bell, I'm a fan, I really am. It's just an example. I'm talking about long-standing problem. People that tend to have shoulder and backache constantly, regardless of if they were in a car accident or they've just been having these pains for a while, it almost invariably means they are shouldering too much. They are carrying too much burden. I finger quote a lot, don't I?
Well, that's okay. That's good. That gives it validity, I think,
Yep.
when you're flailing your hands. Knee problems. When you're having problems with your knees, that Louise tells us that's basically you're inflexible. You're not willing to see both sides of the situation.
Or change your direction, my way or the highway.
Right. And
actually, it's amazing I don't have knee problems.
And that's why you have knee issues. Right.
Stomach problems, whether it's ulcer or gastritis or whatever, again, means that there's a area or areas in your life that you simply can't.
Stomach. You can't tolerate it.
Yep.
It doesn't set well with you.
Throat issues tend to be either you are not speaking up for yourself, or the reverse, you've been verbalizing too much negativity. That's also the same with teeth. Now, of course, if you don't brush your teeth and you have cavities, that's one thing. But if you are constantly prone to cold sores, anything negative with the mouth, chances are you're just talking too much negativity. You're gossiping, criticizing, judging, being prejudiced.
Right, exactly.
And we don't mean to put doctors out of business, because there's definitely, it should be the marriage of Eastern and Western medicine. But there's definitely things you can do before you run off to a million doctors. Look into this book. Try these things out.
Right.
Doesn't cost a thing, and all you have is to gain.
Yep.
So the chakras, the colors of the chakras, it's the same colors as the rainbow. Roy G. Biv. Your root chakra is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, indigo. Did I spell that right?
Yeah.
No, violet. Indigo, violet. Yeah, I ended with the I. Okay, you keep talking. I'm going to go get my pendulum. That's right, focus on her.
Okay, so we're talking about the chakras, and the whole idea behind being aware, first off, of what your chakras do for you makes a difference in how you face the day. If you find that you're struggling to make it through the day at your job, chances are you may have a blockage. You may have absorbed too much negative energy from around you, and you may have a blockage in that stops that flow of energy that constantly goes through your body and the chakras. So you want to you can learn how to clear your chakra yourself, or you can go to someone who can clear your chakra.
I'm back. Did you miss me? I also put on a little bit of lip gloss while I was in there. Not that I'm not shiny enough.
Of course you did.
What have you been telling the fine folk?
I talked about how as we tend to absorb negative energy, sometimes our chakras get blocked.
Absolutely.
And the flow of energy gets blocked, and that's how, so like if you find that you're tired, I told them, and you can't make it through the day, it's possible that your sacral chakra has a blockage that needs to be.
And this is a real easy, nifty way of finding this out. This here, my folks, is a pendulum, okay? Now, this is some wonderful clear quartz, but you can buy them anywhere. You can make them.
With a string and a button.
In an emergency, I've made them out of a shoelace and an earring. Anything that just has a little bit of weight to it. Okay, this is what a witch might call a divination tool. And we have a lot of these. Also the crystal ball, tarot cards. A divination tool is a tool that helps you access the divine, okay? So, you'll be amazed at how this works. What you do, you could do it to yourself, or you could do it to others. Now, actually, it's a tad windy out here. Basically, if you want to check your chakras to make sure everything is up and running as it should, okay? Or you want to get to the root of your problem. Can I use you?
Sure.
It's either that or the cameraman.
Okay.
Okay, so you want to take your pendulum and you want to hover about 3 inches above the chakras, okay? So let's start with...
you want to do a crown, or you want to do a heart?
All right, let's start with her heart chakra, okay? She doesn't, which is right here, she doesn't need to be perfectly flat. Oh, wait, I forgot to tell them one thing. Sorry, this is very important. If it starts moving clockwise, okay, that's called widdershins, but you can call it clockwise. That's positive direction. If it starts going counterclockwise, that's deosil, but you can call it counterclockwise. That's negative. And if it just stands there vibrating, that's another problem, okay? You've got no energy going there, okay? So we're just going to look at the heart chakra, okay? Let's look at Laura's heart chakra. Okay, now you may think I'm doing this, but I am not, nor is the wind. You see the direction here? Positive, big circles. Okay, if you've recently suffered heartache, if you have heart problems, I can guarantee, you know, or if you don't like yourself, if you feel bad about yourself, you get a much different reaction.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, let's look at her throat chakra. Well, try not to go over. Okay, ready? This is the throat chakra. Now, see how this is moving, but not as, it's still in the positive direction, but it's not going as, oh, never mind, it's taking off. I was going to say it's not going as fast, and now it is. All right, no problem with the mouth here on this one in communicating. They're cutting down trees behind us today. Well, they're cutting down dead trees. That's not so bad, but at some point we're going to talk about the Lorax and how we need more trees. Now, here's the crown chakra, okay? This is the heart of your spirituality, okay? Let's see how hers is looking today. See how immediately it takes off? Great, big, powerful. When this is not, when this is coming out negative or standing still, part of the problem could be, you know, let's face it, we all have different religions that we were born into. And sometimes we keep that religion for our entire lifespan. And other times, it no longer suits our purposes. And I'm not going to be down on any religion, despite the fact that certain religions are down on our kind. But hey, you have to know what's right. So if you find that this area is moving very sluggishly, maybe it's time to start questioning some of the things you've been taught. You know, you're not sheep. You don't necessarily just have to follow without questioning or trying new things.
Exactly, or how you're viewing the situation. Because your perception of something could be clouded, and that's what's clouding the aura of the chakra.
You know I just said I wasn't going to get down on any religions, but I've changed my mind. Only I'm not going to name the religions. However, a lot of religions for centuries have taught people to be fear-based. You know, there's only one human that can talk to the Almighty, and you have to go before him or her, and everything you do is a sin, and thou shalt not this, and thou shalt not that, and rules, rules, rules. Problem with that, I feel, is that that's man-made.
Totally.
Humankind made these rules. I'm not certain that came from the divine.
Right, they made these interpretations, and if you don't do right, God's going to punish you.
Oh, punish is a big thing.
That divine source or God or whatever you refer to it is going to punish you. We don't believe that to be the case. We don't believe He wants to ever cause us any harm. He just wants nothing but
I believe humans make some stupid choices and then have to pay the price for their foolish choices and mistakes, but
and that was given through the divine source as well. He gave us that opportunity. He gave us all a piece of that divine energy, that divine spark
of the divine.
But He also gave us free will. And
big mistake as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, free will.
People have taken free will and started wars and oh God,
definitely
crime
free will has been
abuse.
The downfall of many a society.
Okay, so your chakras, how would you balance it? If you're aware that there's a problem, okay, how could you fix it? first figure out where the problem is, and it might be in more than one area. If it's your heart chakra, if you're sad, if you're brokenhearted, reach out to a friend, treat yourself to something wonderful, actively do something to get out of that sad state.
Dwelling on something isn't ever going to change the situation.
Nor is worrying about something.
Right, it's just never going to change it.
And you know, it's easier said than done. It's very easy to sit here and say, don't worry. Worry is almost a natural instinct. You have to retrain your brain not to, because it's very detrimental. If you find you have a slow throat chakra, okay, what's the problem? Are you not speaking up for yourself? Are there things you want to say, but you're afraid to say it? And why did I finger quote that? Get to the root of the problem. It's very simple. And do we have time to talk about some of the angels? Okay. Let's talk about some of the angels that can help with chakra clearing. What did I do with the cards?
What?
Oh, we're so organized. Okay.
What did you ask me?
I said, where did I put the angel cards?
Oh, you took them in the house.
Well, yeah.
But that's okay.
That's okay. That's okay. Our brilliant producer is going to show you the pictures in the editing process. The first one, and this is just the best one to call on at all times. He's in all the major religions. He's the numero uno guy, is Archangel Michael. And hopefully at this point they'll put up the picture of him.
Michael's known as he who is like God, as all of us are. God made us in his image.
Michael is the warrior god, warrior angel. You always see him with this fiery sword, and in a lot of depictions, he's kind of shirtless and looking pretty buff, if you can say that about an angel. He is great to call on for just about anything. Protection, cleansing your house of negativity, but also he's the #1 guy to cleanse your aura. If you're feeling so down, so sad, so depressed, so miserable, call on him. You'll almost immediately feel a warm sensation, not unlike right now in the blazing hot sun. Very similar. And I think immediately after that, within moments, you'll start to feel a lighter energy. The way we think the universe works is they're always there to help, but you got to meet them halfway.
Okay, so I hope that the tree grinding behind us isn't taking away from the program at all, and I thank you again for tuning into us today, and we really hope that you're enjoying our show. And if you have, please feel free to call Queens Public TV and let them know.
And if you're not enjoying our show, please feel free to change the channel. From Angels, Fairies, and Witches, have a blessed day.